Hey YouTube. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about me personally, my personality, my MBTI personality, which is ENTP. I've been looking at a lot of videos, reading into a lot of articles on MBTI lately, and it's helped me out a lot because I've come to know myself a little better through it, and I've come to know what I need to improve and what I need to just embrace. And so yeah, I'm an ENTP, and from in my early childhood, I was always kind of misunderstood, kind of different. You know, we think we're weird, but we're not. We're just different. And people need to understand that. We need to understand that. And, I grew up in a house of seven people, seven people, all of them, almost all of them being introverted sensing types with like some sort of social anxiety or another. I even had social anxiety when I was a child, but that was because I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and it's hard to become socially intelligent when there aren't very many people around. And that's influenced me a lot. And I think I'm one of the people that thinks that personality is more heavily influenced, tends to be more heavily influenced by your environment than your genetics. But that's just me. There are a lot of psychologists that would disagree, and I'm not a psychologist. I just kind of enjoy that kind of thing. Um, yeah, so I tend to talk really fast because most of the people in my immediate environment either zone me out, or they don't listen. They hear what I say. If I talk and get it all out there, they'll hear what I say. I feel like they'll hear what I say, and then they'll do with it whatever. But as long as they actually hear everything I have to say, so I tend to talk really fast and kind of ramble. I mean, I talk to myself all the time. I have full conversations with myself, and it's pretty bad. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. I kind of feel like I'm sick and tired of just talking to myself, and and there's a lot of people on YouTube are kind of looking into MBTI, and there's a lot of these videos being posted of like personal experiences with MBTI and types. And so yeah, I just wanted to talk about myself. I don't know. I mean, this is like gonna be a bunch of irrelevant stuff by the time I'm done because I'm terrible at staying on topic, which is a stereotype of ENTPs. Yeah, I tend to move around when I talk, so I apologize in advance for the shaky camera, because yeah, it's probably shaking pretty bad right now. Yeah, it just helps me think. Walking helps me think. It helps me hold a better conversation. I don't know why. I guess it distracts my overactive mind or something. But anyway, so growing up as a kid was weird because you're an ENTP, so you naturally think you're weird. But I had friends, but I had a small group of friends. I think I've changed though. I think my personality type has changed. I don't know what it was before, but I mean, as of right now, I'm pretty dang sure that it's ENTP because I've taken probably 15 different tests and gotten ENTP. And with that sort of consistency, it's probably spot on. And I exhibit a lot of ENTP traits. Like I'm pretty stereotypical as far as personality is concerned. We think we grow up knowing we're different, so we tend to think that there's no one else out there like us. But when we discover MBTI, we kind of just we kind of feel understood, but at the same time, we kind of feel a little disappointed that we're not nearly as unique as we thought we were. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know, but yeah. So growing up as a kid, when you're one thing that's really influenced me personally is when my parents say we'll get to it later, or it's a maybe. Like they'll say maybe when you ask them something. Maybe always meant no when I was a kid, and we'll get to it later always meant that it was never going to happen. And I have a really good memory, so I'll remember everything my parents say, and because of that, I'll hold them accountable for things that they didn't promise, but they said we'd get to it later, and I'll be the only one that remembers. And I'll be so mad because I don't know. But anyway, like that's caused me to make like to what little decisions I actually end up making, like, I try not to make decisions because I like leaving my options open, which is a bad thing because I need to learn. I'm trying to learn how to make decisions to actually commit to something, because I feel anxiety every time I make a decision, even something as insignificant as like what I'm gonna eat today. I can't make decisions. I've gotten really bad at that. I like my options open. If my options aren't open, then, or if a decision is, even if a decision is made for me, it causes a bunch of anxiety because I love open options. Like, I love being able to decide last minute what I want to do, because my mind may change and I may be disappointed with the decision I made. So that's just kind of how I think. But anyway, back to my parents. When they say maybe, it always meant no, and because of that, I've always been like a, not highly motivated, but when I want something done, I have to do it now, and I have to do it myself. Like, I can't depend on other people for things because they usually end up disappointing me. They never do it the way I see it in my head, or like, and then I just end up getting a little upset. I don't hold grudges, but I do get upset. I'm a more turbulent variety of ENTP. I'm a little emotional. Like, I punched a few holes in the wall, but it usually slides off within the same day. Anyway, I usually end up doing things myself because of that, I've become more self-reliant. But I usually end up doing things myself because people don't usually do it the way I want them to, or they never end up actually getting to it. And because of my short attention span, if they don't get to it, then I usually end up not gaining anything from it because I've lost attention, and then there was no follow through. So yeah, that's a bad deal. Then yeah, my short attention span is crazy. Like, right now, I just lost my train of thought, which happens all the time. And yeah, that's one reason I have to complete projects. The ones that I actually get completed are usually ones that I ended up just like rushing through so that I could get to the end and then be like, oh, okay, I'm done. I can do something else now. Because I have a lot of incomplete projects, which is something that ENTPs suffer from. And I've grown conscious of that over the last few years, and I've tried to correct that as much as I can. Like, I'm trying currently to correct that and try to be better at following through on things and committing to things and making decisions. And I think that's one of the best things about MBTI, is that you can kind of understand yourself and how you act, and the things that are good about you that you need to embrace, and the things that you need to let go or change. And there are a lot of, I mean, we have problems. Like, ENTPs are not perfect. We're not some mystical creature that's perfect in every way. We may be rare, but honestly, it's a good thing we're rare, because if the whole world were ENTPs, nothing would get done, no one would commit, relationships would be terrible. Yeah, I mean, I've always been pretty good at relationships, but I've heard other ENTPs suffer in that area. They get kind of manipulative and stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of a different ENTP, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that either. Anyway, I just made this video because I saw the other ones going up, and I see the increasing interest on the internet and YouTube especially with MBTI. And, it's kind of fun to hear other people's perspectives on themselves, after they've known their MBTI type. And that's kind of what I wanted to do here. And I wanted to give people an inside look into how I work, and I feel like it's kind of an accurate representation of how other ENTPs work, kind of the more general areas. So yeah, I just wanted to make this. I don't know, in part because I was bored, and in part because I'm just sick and tired of talking to myself or talking to people who don't give a crap. So yeah, if you have any questions, or like you want to know anything else, I may make more videos or something. Depends on how many people actually watch this. I may make more, and if you need any questions, or if you have any questions or anything, or need to ask anything, just like comment. And thanks for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, congratulations, because most people didn't.